What's up, everyone? Yeah, I'm not Peter McKinnon. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Being Prepared series. This is going to be part numero dos of water, part 2. In the first part, if you didn't see it, go find it. We basically talked about vessels, containers, and just storing water, and kind of the philosophy of storing water, big jugs, little jugs, something that can be portable. And today we're going to talk about filtering and purifying that water, or water that we need to find on the go. Now, I've got a long history of sort of backcountry experience, so a lot of my water purification comes from that. And my choices and things I like to use are more backpack friendly. They're not huge, vessels. I don't have a huge distillery. I don't use in-house water pumps, anything like that. But you can use it in your house. And that's kind of the best proponent for all of this. Now, obviously, if you store a 55-gallon drum for a certain amount of years, even in city water, it might get a little questionable whether anything's growing in there. So yeah, probably if you're not good at rotating, how many people changed their smoke detector 9 volts this year with the time change? Things happen, people get busy, I understand that. I've got some that's probably a little bit older than it should be too. But coming from city water, it should be fine. Just in case, now we have a way to purify it. Let's talk about some of the ones that I've got. Let's open up one of these little containers that I've got a myriad of different ways of filtering and purifying water. All right, guys, jumping into the little shoebox here. Kind of an oldie, but a goodie, Polar Pure. This is a very old school technology. I'll put in some close-ups, but these are iodine sort of crystals. You fill this with regular water. It will create a solution that will allow you to purify it. Some people do have allergies with iodine. There is kind of a restriction going on about some of the materials that they use in here as far as what you can use it for other things, as well as it kind of makes things weird. When you cook with iodine water, it turns your potatoes colors, things of that nature. It's kind of old school and it's on its way out, but I still have some as a good backup. Now, if you want to flip all the way around to new school, these, if you've been following my channel for any length of time, have been my absolute favorite. These are SteriPens. SteriPens, and again, I'll put some quick clips in. The two models, I've got the original Adventure, then I did switch over to the Opti. It uses an optical sensor instead of a physical sensor. And obviously, you put these in the water, the UV lamp charges up, and it will disinfect the water. Now, it deactivates all the bugs. You still drink the bugs. There's no filtering process with this, but it deactivates the bugs enough that they don't replicate inside your body and make you sick. Being in the Pacific Northwest, we've got some amazing rivers around here. Beautiful, crystal clear rivers. The last thing I want to do when I'm on an amazing backcountry adventure is drink a bunch of iodine or chlorine tasting water. I want it to taste like that crystal stream, right? And that's why I've absolutely loved these. I don't know that I totally recommend them for some of these dark, murky areas of the country. I did have a friend get sick using a SteriPen. Now, you do have to be careful because it does have to be clear water. So one of the products I also have from SteriPen is this little filter guy. And this will fit on top of any, Nalgene or cup. It does have a little kind of a pre-screen filter. You could easily, modify this, use a handkerchief in the field, but it's good peace of mind to be able to filter kind of mucky water. Also in the container video, I kind of explained why I like using that 10-liter bucket, letting all that silt filter down and just taking the clean water off the top. But that's obviously if you're set up in camp and not on the move. Touching again, every Camelback, everything I've owned has its kind of proprietary inline filter system. This does not do viruses. However, we talked about the Geiger rig does. These are 2 replacement cartridges down to virustat levels, which I absolutely love. Now, there's some kind of odd technologies that I've run into over the years. Again, I'll put close-ups on all this stuff. But Purinize was a slightly different solution. It's not a chlorine-based. And it's mostly, I use it for my long-term water storage in like the big barrels. But you can use it on the go. You can add certain drops to just a Nalgene, and it is a qualified water purifier. The other thing about SteriPens you got to remember is they are electronic. So you've got to keep some CR123s around. I have experimented. The Opti one will use rechargeable 123. So for a while in my bug out bag, I did have kind of a solar kit that recharged these, so I could always use the SteriPen. Again, added complexity, added weight as well. I'm not sure if I'm going to continue down that road. I've got a number of different connectors on here. Now, if you want to go way old school, these Aqua Miras will screw onto any 2-liter bottle or a lot of those collapsible bottles. They feature just kind of a filtering straw. Again, you can put a little straw on the bottom of this and kind of suck out of little cracks in the road and things like that. The only reason I don't like these totally is, you know, they don't go down to viruses, and anytime you can't carry water with you, they weren't easy to sort of squeeze through and fill up other containers using this as a filter. You basically always had to have these screwed onto a bottle and use them directly inline while you tried to drink out of them. But they were cheap as chips, and I used to put them in all my kits, and they came with little pre-filters as well as a charcoal membrane in there. Sawyer's been around for a long time. They are proven. They've got Sawyer minis that are quite cheap now, all the way down to like Walmart, I think, sells kind of a Sawyer product. Very easy. They use holofill technology, same stuff out of your dialysis machines. So you're going to see some of those repeat in some of the newer ones where that holofill allows a really good flow rate, but yet you can get filtration down to quite small. You're also going to notice I don't have any huge pumps anymore. You know, I've kind of gone away from those massive pump systems. They were over £1 a piece. They were bulky. They took up a lot of room in your bag, and you still accomplish the same thing with a lot of these smaller filters now. This is pretty low tech. Talking about this guy here, this is very high tech. And again, I'll put in some close-ups. This is kind of a similar system to MSR had for a long time. You used a salt solution and electricity to create a chloride to, you know, basically make chlorine to clean water. And I really like the reason I still carry this is, one, it is electronic, but it is solar. It is also USB rechargeable. It holds its charge for quite a long time. It has the capacity to hold 2 dose of salt solution. Now you do have to carry also something to make that salt solution in there. And I used to have a little line there. If I filled it that much with the salt, I knew that was it, the decent solution from there. And I'll put in some shots of it working. But you fill that with the salt solution. Again, another reason I really like this is the ability to select. Do I want 1 liter? Do I want 20 liters of water purified? You know, how strong do I want that solution to be? A really cool product, and kind of doubles as some of my bug out bag backcountry water purifying. Lastly, I touched on it. I'm going to do a separate review on these Grails, but here's kind of the inline filter unit that goes on my water filter. If you didn't see that video, it was what I carry on my daily EDC. I'll put a card up there. And while I was there, in that video, I actually still had the blue sort of city filter. This mostly gets out a lot of the heavy leads and things of that nature. It isn't backcountry certified as far as virus protection, but it's a lot like a French press machine. I carried this on the ship because I was worried about heavy metals in the ship's water tanks, and just traveling. You know, not worried about viruses in water, but just trying to drink the cleanest water. And we'll talk about that in that review. But a neat little system. I know they have improved them. There is a newer version, and I'll probably talk about that in that review. I've not purchased it yet, but I look forward to it because I like the idea of it, but there are a lot of problems with this unit right here, and we'll get into it in that review. All right, guys, that's going to wrap up water. The conversation of water is huge. So if you have any questions, comments, queries, if you're concerned about something, if I skipped over something that you want me to touch on, we're not exactly done. We're going to focus on some of the kits that I keep in some of my preparedness bags. We're going to go through bug out bags and get home bags and things of that nature. But that's a good insight in what I've been using over the past decade. All the way kind of from way back in the day, 20 years ago, using the iodine tablets up to the newer UV pens and sterilizing pens. You know, there's a little bit for everyone. And there are things that are getting so cheap, like those the filter straws. You know, that sort of things is easy. It doesn't cost a lot of money and is a great peace of mind, especially if you have to leave all your water procurement that you have, all the stuff that you have in your home, your castle. If you do have to get out there, water is going to be one of the first things you're going to look for, and being able to secure clean drinking water is just a great peace of mind. I hope this helped. Take care, guys, and we will see you down the road. Hello, and welcome to Water Preparedness. You recording? Thanks for all the love and support. You guys are amazing. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow the adventure on social media, and we'll see you on the road.